This is the story about the time I got a phone call asking me to host a homeless man biking across the country. For some context, in 1982, the Great American Bike Race started, leading to a frenzy of bikers pedaling across the continental US. But from these races came recreational riders that weren't trying to be the fastest, but were trying to experience the parts of the US that were less journeyed. These bikers, or tourers as they call themselves, bike across the country, set up their tents in small towns, sleep in strangers' houses, and embody escaping the cycle. So when I got a call from a friend asking me to let a complete stranger stay in my home, I had to say yes. I am so excited. The stranger is finally here. What up, dude? How you doing?
Oh my god.
Good to finally meet you.
Yeah.
Hell, we can try.
Good, bro.
Really? This stranger had just rode 80 miles in the pouring rain to get to my apartment. And I guess when you're riding across the country, you probably don't smell the nicest things. But let me introduce you to my new friend.
My name is Gabriel Peregrina, and I'm currently biking from St. Augustine, Florida to Seattle, Washington.
What's this little guy?
Oh, that's coolio. Hey man, that's actually cool, bro.
I could already tell that Gabe and I were going to get along. He seemed super down to earth and was very thankful and excited to be with us in Kansas City. After washing off his bike, we went inside where he met Corey and took a nice warm shower. I wanted to know more of why he was taking the trip across the country, so I asked him.
I saw a video actually on YouTube of a dude that flew to China and got a bike and rode back to his home in England somewhere. I saw that years ago. And I always thought, like, man, that is so cool. I was like, let me bike somewhere, let me just do something. I was like, actually, I kind of want to travel to India. But I was like, catching a flight, like buying a ticket, and like flying there just seems too easy. Then I remember that dude's video, and I was like, I could bike there.
Gabe's goal of biking to India may sound crazy, but I think it's truly inspirational. To see someone so motivated to follow their dreams and work their way up to them is incredible. Now, Gabe was super hungry after biking 80 miles to get to Kansas City. I wanted to show him some of Casey's best food, so I took him to our best wing spot called The Peanut, and my buddy Ryan joined too, who you may remember from our coffee house video. We then hit the town and showed him one of our favorite bars and chatted late into the night.
Little block party.
And it's cold, bro. Like when I'm on the road and like I can't wash my hands anywhere, and like I look at my hands are like black, and I'm like, okay, and I stick them deep in my mouth.
While you're washing?
Yeah, that's some of the nastiest stuff I do on the road.
Alright bro, it's been a fun first day.
The first few hours with Gabe were fantastic. It feels super natural having him around, and he feels already like a really good friend, and I feel great that I'm having a stranger stay in my home. And glad I can return the favor so quickly after a stranger let me stay the night in their place.
One of the things I kind of wanted to get out of this tour also is like seeing the real US. Like I want to kind of go out and meet who are the real people who are like literally on the streets of the United States day to day. So it is nice like meeting them and being able to stay at their places. It's interesting, of course, because they're so different in a way. But at the same time, you realize that ours is so similar, you know? It's just people just trying to make it.
Right.
Like whatever that means to you, but you're just trying to make it. I enjoy meeting strangers, but it's really nice when they're like you and you have that like long-term connection. Like you feel like you've been homies for forever. And moments like that kind of happen is when I just take it as the universe telling me that like I am going kind of on the right path.
Gabe wanted to see the real US, so I made sure our day was full of things to do. We went to the farmer's market, played some volleyball with a work friend and other people I didn't really know, and then introduced him to a crew of some of my really close friends. I really was trying to make sure he got his fix of hanging around people his age and the full Kansas City experience. And then on our drive home, the most bizarre thing I had ever seen happen to us, and I don't know how it can get any more Midwestern than this.
You ever seen anything like this?
Florida's wild. I've never seen anything like this.
After that craziness, we went to a concert where we boogied our butts off and then capped off the night by going out for a drink.
Good morning. How'd you sleep?
Having Gabe around has been absolutely wonderful. We found time to jam out, cook together, which seems like having strangers cook in my home is becoming a trend.
Dude.
Look at that. Little home-cooked meal.
He's also instantly become friends with everyone I've introduced him to. How comfortable did you feel like coming and staying here.
Here at your place?
Yeah.
100%. No single doubt in my mind of anything not being comfortable.
Yeah.
I guess it comes from two different things. One, being on the road already, and like just sleeping on the side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've kind of gotten a little accustomed to not being comfortable.
Yeah.
And so that's like that helps a lot. Like knowing that I'm going into like a enclosed space with like people that know my friends and that my friends can vouch for.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like the idea of like you being a stranger, nothing doesn't even happen anymore.
That was sick. That was fun. That's awesome.
But before Gabe could leave, he had to try Kansas City barbecue.
All right.
First barbecue and KC experience out of 10.
Out of 10, 76.
Wait, 76 out of 10. You heard it.
Serendipitous moments and good things were constantly happening while I was hanging with Gabe. His good energy and vibes were always attracting the positive people around us. Like this random hip-hop dance class we saw and they invited us in. And it really all makes sense when you understand his thoughts on his bike tour.
What I'm doing currently on my bike is fairly selfish, but understanding that this, like what I'm doing, will bring benefit to be able to live a life of more of service later on. The more I work on myself and the more I can know about the world around me, the people around me, the better I can be of service.
Alright, bro. Alright. I'll see you in the morning. I'll be up.
Cool.
It's been a pleasure having you.
Gabe's time with us was coming to an end, so I asked him what his one message to the world would be.
Don't look for love and or satisfaction outside of yourself. It's all inside every single time, man. It's never outside. It's literally every single time it's inside. And every time you feel it and you think it's someone else or something else or like something happened that you wanted, no, man, that's just opening you up so that the love can come out, but it's every time it's inside of you. You don't need to look for it outside. Outside can just be what it is, and it's just love's flowing every time. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah, dude. It was great meeting you, dude. Lovely, lovely weekend. Like literally whenever you need anything, you just need someone to talk to on the ride, let me know.
Yeah, I'll call you for sure.
But it's been a blast, dude. See you, dude.
Letting a total stranger into our lives was absolutely wonderful. It felt so natural having Gabe in our home, and Corey and I honestly were wishing he could have stayed longer. Gabe had so many beautiful insights to share, stories to tell, and was just an amazing human being to be around. Every friend of mine that met him instantly became his friend, and you can tell just how much these interactions meant to him. Gabe truly is the embodiment of escaping the cycle and living a life that you want to live. I'm not sure when our paths will cross again, but I know it's just a see you later. If you're a dreamer, risk taker, and wanting more discomfort in your lives, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on our next adventure next week.